I think that's also an important thing. So, Libby. Uh, Libby, 6-year-old golden retriever, skin rash with severe itching, predominantly on the belly and inguinal area. She does get hot spots in her flank and lumbar area. Steroid and antibiotic therapy only mildly effective. On physical exam, I wish I had a picture of her at the beginning. I talked to her owners before these lectures to see if I could get a before picture, and unfortunately they didn't have any. So this dog's whole body, hot and just stinky dog. You could smell her when she came in. And like any golden retriever, she was just happy as a clam anyway. Belly, just black skin with red patches everywhere, virtually no fur from her chest all the way down through her inguinal area. You know, the skin just has that greasy feel to it. She had patches of ulcerated, oozing skin. Her ears weren't too bad, surprisingly, but still a little smelly. Tongue very deep red and very wide, pulse rapid and slippery. So there was a lot of damp in her case. So what we did, we found that she had liver damp, heat, and some blood heat in her case. This is about the worst that she gets now. And this is on her belly. And like I said before, every bit of this hair was gone when I saw her. Skin bright red in patches, and this just little bit of browning, just deep black everywhere. And you can see now, pink skin, nice hair coat. She doesn't itch anymore. I mean, her family are just like my biggest fans. So anyway, so she was put on a grain-free diet because initially she was on a good quality diet, but it had some grains in it, and initially treated with a formula of 35% Silorex, 35% Dermatrol, and then 30% of Longdon Gigantong. So I wanted to really try to help her out with the wind and the heat, but I also needed some damp heat. And I suppose, you know, some people might say, well, why didn't you just go with the Longdon Gigantong right away, since you had so much damp heat? And that's, I think, a reasonable question. I think that my confidence in the Silorex and the Dermatrol is so high that I really felt that they were going to do a better job than just the Longdon Gigantong alone. So that's how we started with her. And she did really pretty well, but we were still getting what I was considered too much heat in her body, and things weren't resolving quite to the degree I wanted. So we added the 9 Winds, just at 1 capsule twice a day, so not a huge amount of it, and that was the solution. That's what got us to this area right here. And like I said, this is about the worst of a flare-up that she'll have. And she actually stays on this formula. You know, we've talked about yesterday, well, can you stay on these formulas long term? In this dog's case, I think it's completely appropriate for her to stay on this formula long term. She doesn't have any spleen or digestive issues with it. If she goes off the formula, even if we try to go at a lower dose, her heat flares up. So I think from just a constitutional standpoint, that she just produces heat. I mean, she's a golden retriever. They tend to produce a lot of heat anyway. And I think that for her, I think it's also possible that could we improve her diet a little bit more? Possibly. I mean, she could, if she was on say a raw diet, we might be able to get a little bit more cooling and maybe be able to get that, but that's not something her owners can do or willing to do or whatever. And so we're just making do with what we got. And she's a good, healthy, happy dog. So I have zero problems with that.